Hi, friends.
Jinx.
Whoa. That was
Jinx.
weird. Welcome to our Neighborhood News Podcast Off Script, where every day, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10 o'clock, we go neighborhood by neighborhood across Southwest Florida, showing you things happening in your community through the eyes of our community correspondents. I'm Amy Wegman.
I'm Shari Armstrong, and today we definitely have a special guest. One of our community correspondents will be joining us. We're not going to tell you which one just yet, but
I have like a little touch of OCD, I think, because I needed that to be centered. So I fixed it.
thank you for straightening us up, getting us right.
Always. So special guest is on the way. We'll see if special guest makes it.
Yeah.
If not, we still have lots of stuff to talk about. First of which is Shari finally watched K-pop Demon Hunters.
That is correct. And you know what? Amy has been like telling me all the hype about it, and so has everyone else in the world. And so I feel like I'm super late on it, but I'm not going to lie. I loved. There's a reason why that movie is still number one on Netflix, and the music from it is trending.
The music is so good. We were in the pool, me and my girls, meaning like my daughters, me and my girls. We had a Labor Day party in the pool yesterday, and we had a K-pop Demon Hunters dance party.
Sing along.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
The neighbors are probably like, okay.
But the music is so good. The neighbors might be like Soda Pop, Golden,
Golden's the best. Takedown.
Takedown.
This is how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
I really, really liked it. Also, I thought the one guy was hot.
Jumi?
Jumi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hot.
Everyone and their brother is going to be a K-pop demon hunter for Halloween. I just like to say that already. My daughters want to be it. My niece, everyone's like, "Are you going to be in the band with us?" I'm like, "Well, they were crop tops, so that's a hard pass." But maybe I'll wear a purple braided
I guess
wig.
it'd be like, yeah, she was my favorite one. The one with the purple
Yes.
braid. She was fire. Actually, they all were fire in their own way, but I really liked her.
Rumi.
I
Love
love
her.
that you know them all so well.
Well, I live it. So
Yes.
let's talk about some stuff happening across Southwest Florida. First, we want to go to Port Charlotte.
Good morning to our friends in Port Charlotte. This
This is not how you're supposed to act.
No.
This is 65-year-old, what was his name? Daniel Kennel. I think I'm saying that right. And sheriff's deputies in
Charlotte County.
Here's what they say went down. Ready?
Ready?
You're shopping at Publix. And he got pretty upset, apparently, with a woman who was saving a spot for her husband on the conveyor belt where you put your groceries.
Yeah, so the woman was like,
Hold on a minute. Don't put your stuff down. Like, my husband just ran to go get something type
Sure.
deal. I don't know exactly how that played out.
right, but something like that.
There was a fight, argument, verbal altercation, if you will, upset.
Sure.
So they're in Publix and they get upset because she's holding a spot for her
man.
husband on the conveyor belt and they have words. She and her husband end up checking out. He goes outside.
Mm-hmm.
Deputies say he went to his car, got a can of bug spray,
Oh.
and waited for them to come out.
Oh.
They come out of the store to go put their stuff in the car, and according to police, he went up and went shh in both of their faces. They both had to go to the hospital.
Spraying them in their faces, allegedly, is crazy.
Yeah, not cool.
Now, if it was like anywhere, I'd be like, can you hit the spot right here, the way the mosquitoes are?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Here's the exact thing. Argument began when the man tried to put his groceries on the conveyor belt while the wife was holding a spot for her husband. So I guess he probably went to go put stuff down.
Yeah.
And she was like, no.
Yeah.
He went to go get the Jimmy Dean sausage biscuits. And then this played out.
Come on. I said this over the weekend. I feel like things escalate so quickly these days.
They do. I feel like, okay, we need to practice like just taking a deep breath.
Take a second.
Trust me, I have been at the store before where I get angry with someone.
Yeah.
But you got to just take a deep breath and be like, it's not worth it.
Man, and to go back and be like, I'm going to spray with bug spray.
In the face.
Allegedly.
It's not funny.
No, it's not funny.
I cope with humor. That's why I'm
both
laughing.
do. Yeah.
Anyway, Alex Orenchuk is our Charlotte County community correspondent, so he covers that area every day. He's tight with the sheriff's office up there, and they were like, listen to this. So he covered it for us.
Yeah. This man's facing battery charges, by the way.
Yes, and a Publix employee and another shopper, by the way, chased him down because
Wow.
he tried to take off, apparently. Wow. I would not be chasing someone down in this day and age, would you?
This is the conversation that I feel like is always on social. Is it on the person to chase them down or not if they're an employee? I let them go.
No. I say let him go.
I let him go.
It's if you're an employee of the store,
That's between
kudos to you if you do.
right.
But like we don't know if people are armed or
100%. That's why I always question like why it's an argument. But you know what? I'm always like, if the person gets away, That's between you and God.
Yeah.
You know?
Karma.
100%.
So Anvar Ruziev is our Fort Myers Beach community correspondent. He covers the beach every day, like literally every day. And he's always flying his drone and showing us beautiful areas of Fort Myers Beach. So he was taking a look at, tourism numbers in the state of Florida are down. Hold on, I got to look at that right. Anyway, there's a slower recovery in Lee County.
Right, compared to the rest of the state.
Right, because of impacts from Hurricane Ian, obviously, and that's what they're attributing that to. But he was saying that he was seeing Lee County's hotel occupancy last quarter was 52%, which is about 15% lower than Florida's statewide average.
Mm-hmm.
So in Lee County, we're a little lower than the rest of the state, which is at 67. However, he was talking to some business owners, and they were like, it's way better this year than it was last year. So you know what? We'll take the baby gains.
I went out to Sanibel over the weekend, and when you like hang out with people who haven't been here in a while, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you really see the impacts of the storm," and like it looks very different from what we saw when it was breaking news. Hurricane Ian hit Southwest Florida, right? We've seen the progress,
So much
And
progress.
This is honestly just like a sign for us when people are saying like it's looking better.
Yeah,
We're seeing
just
progress.
to see that many people
Yes.
out there. But if you haven't been, if this is your
Shocking.
first time in 3 years,
Yeah,
it is
it's shocking.
jarring a little
Yeah.
bit because it just
Yeah.
looks completely different.
But I loved an Anvar story where the gentleman that he talked to, they were like, listen, it kind of works out for us because the beach is emptier,
Mhm.
and we as the locals get to enjoy it just for what it is without it being crowded. So there's that.
Those drone shots show you. I mean, when you see the sunset and the water, it's
Why
just gorgeous.
FMB rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mystery guest is here. Mystery guest is mic'd up. Mystery guest is mic'd up. Should we bring in the mystery guest? Mystery guest has the same. Oh, hold on. Allie's telling me.
Coming to the stage.
Oh boy.
Come on down. We got
have-
Eric Lovely.
Oh goodness.
Hi.
What's up, everybody?
Man, we love Eric Lovelace. This guy makes me laugh at least once a day when he comes into the news.
He's
Right?
a
I'm
funny
a
guy.
personality hire.
We love it.
I'm kidding. You said make you laugh. I'm giving them.
You're giving them a little
I gotta be
taste.
professional and
Okay.
put together on
Okay.
TV.
Okay.
We love it. So Eric is one of our Collier County community correspondents. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
And he is just kind of like been all up in Collier County, getting all the stories, getting to know all the people. And obviously one of the big stories that's come out of Collier County recently is Alligator Alcatraz. I feel like obviously that's front of mind for a lot of people.
You've been in the front lines of Alligator Alcatraz. You just got here and then we threw you out there.
So I think it's funny from like people back home. So I'm from Missouri. Actually, me and Hunter Walterman are from the same place. Yeah, we're both Mizzou grads and we work together at our station. So shout out Hunter.
Yes.
I love Hunterman.
I love
Hunterman.
Hunterman. He's so good. But anyways, so like I'll go back home like for I think 2 weeks ago I was at home and they're like, so tell me about Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
And it becomes roundtable talk and
Yeah.
it's like one of the anytime I post anything about it on social media it just blows up. So that's been crazy to
Yeah.
kind of just jump in and this whole thing is been in it, but it's fun. I like legal jargon and like legal stories.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up because I was taking a look at some of your Alligator Alcatraz coverage and you were talking about like the shutdown and like you've been trying to get answers about like is there an official shutdown? What
Right.
does that look like? And you really haven't been able to get like a definite answer.
I don't think anyone has, right?
No, so a couple of things. So if you've been following this the whole time, a preliminary injunction is the only like court. It's not in order, but like the only thing from a court body saying like, hey, preliminary injunction granted. And so I spoke to a legal expert last week, and basically the way she described that to me was like, wherever it is right now, full stop. Just stop where you are. But so she thought it was interesting that in that preliminary injunction from Judge Williams in Miami, that she was ordering actual deconstruction of it. So she said that was out of character. And so, all we are at is, preliminary injunction, full stop. And then I spoke to an immigration attorney who still has a client in there who she's still representing. So you have the two big lawsuits are the environmental one and then the accusation from like Sanctuary of the South, it basically saying that alleging that the facility is blocking access to legal counsel and not giving them proper due process. And so we talked about that on Friday, and so the immigration attorney was like, this is so far from over, it's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
So yeah, and that's been interesting. So the environmental lawsuit is at an appeals court, or that's where it sits, and then this, the one about
The legal counsel.
yes, that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is they're still just going through them.
The environmental one came because they were basically saying, you popped this up so quickly, you didn't do the needed studies to make sure this isn't going to have a negative impact on the environment. Locally, obviously, you're in the Everglades. The Miccosukee tribe has interest in the land there. So a lot of people speaking out against it. We've seen lawmakers showing up trying to get in to see it with their own two eyes. But it was interesting, too, because Kevin Guthrie, who is the director of Department of Emergency Management for the state of Florida. Sorry, so many titles. There was an email that we got, through public records request that said something along the lines of, yeah, we should be down to 0 people by the end of the week. So that kind of like kicked up the speculation. Are they actually shutting down? But then the governor spoke out and said, well, no, that's because
Related
of
to
the deportations, right? So it's just interesting to watch it. This is, like you said, clearly far, far, far from over. You can't actually, though, when we go there, it's not like we can go in. We see this stuff from like the drone video and what it looks like, or if we go in with the governor, we have a camera sometimes, but really you're stopped at the entrance.
Yeah, pretty much. And like you can go up, it's probably about 200 feet. There's like a staging area. You have to RSVP the day before. Trust me, I've been sweet talking whoever I can sweet talk, and it is not. I'm like, hey man, like just walk, let me go in there.
Like,
I promise I'll be fair.
Take it somewhere else.
Just let me go. And you're like, scram. I'm like, I'm sorry, but yeah,
love it.
no, it's we haven't actually been in there, and I don't think we ever will until it's ran its course. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky. I don't know.
Yeah. Something you've been great about keeping a close eye on the latest developments, and so obviously we know when you get that clarity, you're going to bring it to us on our website and on air.
Oh,
Amen.
Come on now.
Eric Lovelace, he's got you in Collier County. So, Alligator Alcatraz obviously is like kind of in the middle of the state, if you will, in the Everglades. But he covers all of Collier County. Marco Island's been in the news a lot lately, too, because there's been this like budget battle rift thing going on. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so they're in the process of finalizing their fiscal year 26 budget, and as are a lot of governmental bodies in the state and stuff. And so it's just I covered city council back in Columbia, where I came from. I've never seen just openly council members like beefing with each other.
Oh, welcome to Florida.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, like but like I went to the so basically there was like it was like a special meeting, the last one I went to, and it was to find like nothing was final. Let me just make nothing was final, but it was basically they're bringing out their preliminary budget on September 8th, and they have to finalize it by the end of the month.
Okay.
And so then they're like, hey, here's the millage rate you're going to use. Here's your direction on what to cut, what not to cut, and all of that stuff. And if you go, if you're looking at it and you go left to right, it seems like, maybe 1 or 2 people are on the same page about like what they want cut, what they want to stay. But then there's other people who are like, well, no, blah, 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 blah. And then that's not even including all the people who go there. And they get hot.
The community members.
Yeah, they get.
Yeah.
They get hot.
I mean, it's kind of their money, right?
No,
Most of it's their
100%.
tax money. But didn't they talk about bringing in the Department of Government Efficiency,
Yeah.
right? So DOJ to look at this.
Yeah, so a lot of the community members want it, and they're like, if there's nothing to hide, like, let's just bring them in. And I think something that, then city council member Renee Champagne, he suggested maybe doing like the Marco Island DOJ, so like an internal DOJ audit. They didn't like that because they didn't think that would, bode well for transparency. But ultimately, if the state wants to come in and do an audit, they cannot stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Senator Blaise Ngolia, I did that story that was a week and a half ago, I think, for that special meeting. Blaise Ngolia was talking about, the purpose of these audits was to keep those property taxes from rolling up, and like seeing other places that they can cut. And that's a big frustration down there, property taxes and stuff like that. So, but like the ultimate bottom line, like if they want to come, they can. And some of the council members were all for it. They were just like, yeah, let's do it. Why not?
right.
So it just, but like, I just think like, okay, you think something, and then you also think something. It's interesting to follow.
Man, I've said this before. I think some of the most tea you get as a reporter is sitting in those city council meetings.
100%.
It's absolute tea seeing them go back and forth like
Yes,
that.
it is. It's interesting, and I think that I've been very careful. I ask if you guys ever see me out there in the wild. I ask a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions, but I really care a lot about like being super accurate, and I'll ask the same question 2 or 3 times. I don't care if you think like, oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like I want to
make sure you
I want to make sure that like
understand
I
it.
am absolutely getting to the bottom of it, getting to the meat and bones of it. So.
Millage rate is a hard thing to break down for people.
Yeah, and it's
right?
hard to like. It's complicated stuff if you're not dealing with it on a day-to-day basis, and
Exactly.
you're in the weeds at those city council meetings
right.
too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No, and I was like, I was in college like 3 weeks ago.
He's not kidding. Right. I say that sometimes. I'm like, I was just in college like 3 weeks ago, but he actually was in college.
Yeah,
like 3 weeks
no,
ago.
like I just graduated. I finished my summer classes at the end of July.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's like 2 months ago.
Yeah. So no, the millage rate.
Well, you're doing well.
Thank you.
And you did a great job of like breaking down those concepts to make it easy for people to understand.
Is that Drenna?
I think so.
Okay, so we have if you're watching on Facebook, we want you guys to comment, say hi, ask questions. Drenna, is it Drena? Drena says hi from Detroit, Michigan. We got the love all over.
Let's go.
Let's
Good
go.
morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
If you have questions, let us know. Favorite part about Collier County, Southwest Florida so far?
Man,
Do you have a hot spot you love?
dude.
I know.
Man, that's a tough one.
You can sit on it for a minute if you need to.
I trickle up into Bonita and Estero too. I think just there's such a variety. It is a big place.
Yeah.
Like I was talking. So me and Hunter obviously talk a lot, and he's like, oh yeah, I feel like I got, like I kind of know, I kind of know this, I kind of know that. I'm like, dude, I feel like I don't even know anything.
Well, Collier County's huge.
It's ginormous.
So-
I mean, I drive an hour and a half every time I do an alligator Alcatraz story, but I think just the people there have been really welcoming and friendly. And like you have like the charm of Fifth, and then you have like these little mom and pop shops. I did a story about the black-eyed pig that closed. Just there's such it's just like an everything county. I feel like
Yeah.
there's so much different stuff, and like, I just can't wait to continue to get to know it to where it's like, oh no, I know everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. You get a chance to connect with is it Good Samaritan Rehab? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like a very interesting story that you found when it comes to the person who started that organization and how they're impacting people in Collier County. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course I can. So I go to Ocean Church in Estero.
Okay.
And so I was sitting in the lobby and I don't go to church to make sources. Let me just make that clear. But I was just talking. I was sitting there, and he was just like, hey, my name's Kevin. I'm like, oh, I'm Eric, introducing myself. And he was like, yeah, I'm starting a rehabilitation clinic that's like, faith-based. And I was like, oh, like, how'd you get into that? He goes, well, I'm 5 years sober. I was a heroin addict. And
Good for him.
No, like I was just sitting there like totally encapsulated with him telling me my story. And he was like, so the Good Samaritan program, he was in the actual program in Idaho.
Okay.
That's where he was, he served his time, and then, his family moved back down here. And, so I met him, and then, it didn't really connect. It all came together like on the last, like the day of, but, there was like a fentanyl trafficking arrest we had in Collier County. And then I was just like, wait a minute, this is kind of like, fentanyl has been a persistent issue, and so, why not shed some light on someone who's trying to, like do something about it and who's been in it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give so much hope to people because, everyone, addiction touches people, whether it's not you personally, but someone you know, someone
That's
you
right.
love.
That's right.
So to give hope to someone like, wow, okay, my have taken him a certain point to get to that point, but like you can get there too.
That's right.
Yeah, amen. And like another thing too, I think just 2 sound bites, I'll never forget it. He straight up said to me in my face, he goes, "I should be dead." And I'm just like, wow. And like a lot of the, you only get, 2 minutes, right, to fit all of it in there. But some of the stuff he told me, I'm just like, dude, you're awesome. I still talk to him. He sends me texts every morning and like, that kind of thing. And, we talk all the time. And so, yeah, it's cool. It's like this little ranch out in East Naples. And he's like, we're just going to bring people away from the busyness and the grind, the rut and mill of society. And I'm just like, dude, like you're doing the Lord's work for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. And he's a good dude. And like, it was funny because I did it and like I didn't know anyone saw it, and then I walked into church that next Sunday. That was on a Friday, and everyone was like, "Hey, I saw this." I'm like, "Whoa, all right."
Well, it's powerful stuff, especially I feel like everyone can relate in some way.
Absolutely.
Do we have another comment? Hold on, Allie's telling us something.
Here, just read it.
Sure. Good morning from Yvette, watching currently from DC. Oh, look at this. But I represent Collier County in the Florida House.
What?
What's up, Yvette?
Representative Yvette Benerach.
I don't know. Have I met her yet?
I don't know. I feel like you've met a lot of people. But good morning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good morning to our
We have a
representative
very
from Collier County.
Widespread audience this morning.
Yeah.
Michigan, DC, Southwest Florida. Drop us a
Yeah.
line. Let us know where
Love
you're
it.
watching from if you have
Yeah.
questions for Eric.
Yeah.
And most importantly, if you're in Collier County and there's something that you feel that you want, to be covered or a story told, he's your guy. So very easy to find on our website, fox4now.com. Basically, you can go county by county and see who covers what area. So you'll get his email. It's easy, eric.lovelace@fox4now.com.
Yeah.
And what a great last name. Your parents blessed you with that.
Yeah. The penguin from Happy Feet. Lovelace.
Lovelace.
How come I didn't think about that? I'm like surprised.
Yeah, well, I think, I don't know. It's just every time people are like, oh, I'll give them my card and they'll be like, they'll be looking at it, they'll be like, Eric Lovelace. They're like, that's a TV name.
It is a TV name.
I'm like, all right, thanks.
You
Mom
and
Dad."
Hunterman got it unlocked.
Hunterman.
Yes,
For sure.
Hunter Walterman.
Hunter Walterman.
Hunter Walterman, Fox 4.
Yes.
His voice, we were talking about this, it's just like something that is just like, I feel safe with you.
He could do like yoga meditation videos and I would listen to it.
Same.
Yes.
He's going to be a great dad one day.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Like, no, his kids will be fussing and they'll hear his voice and be like, oh, okay.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you did.
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I have a question for you when it comes to the people that you're meeting in Collier County. What seems to be like some of the bigger concerns that people bring your way? Like, oh, you should do a story on fill in the blank. Is there any like consistency with what people are talking about there?
I mean, I guess it just kind of depends. I feel like that's been one of the more difficult things is I don't feel like there's been a lot of like uniform, like, oh yeah, this is all what they want. I think, anything with, money, anything with the wallet, like that's always going to hit. But that's something that I still am trying to figure out because like I said, it is a huge county. Like just that county alone is probably bigger than the entire viewing area the market I came from in Columbia. And so, just trying to figure out that I've been asking a lot more questions because I'm like, oh man, like I really feel like, I'm pushing myself a little more to try and get my finger on the pulse there. But, I think that too.
Jeff from Ohio said hi.
Hello, Jeff.
Do we have anyone watching internationally? What's up?
Guys, you know what this means. You got to bring me on more often.
Seriously.
We need a third chair.
We
Lord.
do.
But
I mean, you're talking about an area from like you're talking about Immokalee, which is
Yes.
one area. Then you have like Naples, right? Then you said like
North Naples.
North Naples,
Golden Gate.
100%.
Lely.
Yeah. So the concern
Bonita.
is really diverse, right? Exactly.
Totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, in some areas it's like the growth. In other areas it's, the rights for workers out in
Sure.
the fields.
Agriculture.
For agriculture. For some areas it's just like crime or,
Exactly.
so it just depends where you are.
yeah, that's been the hardest thing to try and figure out. But like, I just understand Chris and, Caitlin have just said, I'm very much a go, like, nah, like there's a wall, let's run through it kind of thing. But they're like, no, let's look at this wall and analyze it and be patient with this wall
Yeah.
Okay.
before we go and run through it. So I've been trying to teach myself, just really take their words as, gospel because they're awesome.
That's
so I
our
trust them.
executive reporter, Caitlin Knapp, and our news director.
Yeah. Yep.
Shaw.
Yes.
Christopher Shaw.
Yeah, just being patient. And
Well,
stuff.
you have a good work ethic, and I can feel that from you, and that's so important. So even if you want to run through walls and they're saying, wait a minute, I love that you're just going to be a go-getter for people in Collier County and Bonita, just if they have something that they want answered, I feel like you're going to go run until you get the answer. So we appreciate that.
I'm gonna try for sure, and I think that like, I know like if I'm talking to people right now, I know it can be like kind of jarring and like maybe a little scary to like go public with your story and like to go on camera. Print is one thing. It's like, hey, no one sees your face and that stuff, but like I think there really is power and just even like the little things that we've done, like for example, there was a gymnastics gym and
Yes.
yeah, Gymnastic World.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Shout
Hey,
out
Shannon.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they are so cool.
They're
They are so nice.
amazing.
But like their parking lot was flooding, and I just I did that story, and thank goodness for a GoPro, because the first shot is just like it looks like you're in a river.
Yeah.
And
It was
like,
literally underwater.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so then I do that, and then they call me and they're like, hey, I think they're putting some piping and stuff in finally. So it's like, there's an exchange. You're trusting in me to tell your story, and hopefully you can feel it from here, but like I will treat it with care, and
Yeah.
like, I do genuinely, like the last thing I want is for I'd rather them them come for me than come for you. So that's something that my message would be, because there is a power in a good story and a face on a good story, and it's not about me, it's about you. So
Amen.
And Lovelace is a fighter of sorts. He has a former wrestling career as well, so
Yeah.
he will fight for you.
yeah.
Is that a legal move?
No.
Just so we know.
Yeah, I wrestled at Mizzou. When
He's scrappy.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, no, my dad wrestled at Mizzou, and then I wrestled at Mizzou. So don't be surprised when I'm not 6'2" when you see me.
Dude, nobody cares.
No. Just like sometimes the perspective shift is a little.
I feel you on that.
But no,
Yeah.
like I promise I make up personality higher.
Oh, stop it.
Wait, we gotta shout out
Gentle with
Laura.
yourself.
Yeah, actually, this guy ended up on like my radar from college. Actually, one of my girlfriends from college, her name is Laura Monteverdi. She's about to be a mom.
Oh.
And she works in, what market is that?
Little Rock.
Yeah, she works in Little Rock as an evening anchor out there. But she was like, hey, there's this guy coming. And I was like, oh, no. But then she sent me some information.
Oh, no?
I'm just kidding. I'm making that up.
No, but
But
yeah.
yeah, she had like so much love. She's like, you're going to love him. And unfortunately for me, I do.
Yeah.
We do.
We all do.
Yeah.
You can fight it all you want, but I mean, love's in my name, so
Okay, I can't. That was pretty epic.
Guys.
pretty
This
I
is
deal with
why
every
this
day.
is why you can't put me
I
on
know.
things like this.
No, this is why we have this, so people can
Okay.
see what they're that we are normal human beings, and we have a sense of humor,
Personality
and
higher.
we're moms,
true.
we're your neighbors, and all that fun stuff.
It's
so.
true.
Yeah, that's
It's true.
something I've gotten, like when like I'll be talking to someone, I'm a total goof, like
Yeah.
total goofball.
I can confirm.
Shocker.
Yeah.
But like they'll be like, whoa, wait, like you're not like that. I'm like, I think it honestly takes the edge off in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
like, I'm just like, hey, like I'm still a guy.
That's right.
I'm just a boy.
Cannot.
He's done.
Yeah, that what, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to being PR trained.
Okay.
No, we like the unfiltered.
I do too.
For sure.
That's why it's called off script.
That's right,
So we're going off
exactly.
script. So if you ever need anything, again, you can find Eric's information on our website, fox4now.com. And we just love that you join us. Hello, Michigan. Hello, Ohio.
For real.
Hello, DC.
Yeah.
And to our representative as well. That was so cool that she jumps on here. And
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
For the rest of the hour, we're going to leave you with some news of the day, things happening. But we're here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 10 right on fox4now.com.
Have a good day, Southwest Florida.
Bye, guys.